Hello again everybody and welcome to another Board Game Nerds video. My name is Ulrik and today I'm doing something I'm very hyped about. Earlier this day the doorbell rang. It's a guy from FedEx with a big box for me. I didn't know I had any boxes coming, but I did pre-order something in Essen and that something was Ada's Dream. If you have been following our top lists on this YouTube channel or on our audio podcast, which there will be links to down below, then you will know that I'm pretty hyped about this game. Before I went to Essen, I didn't really know about it, but I got a demo and I was super hyped after I tried that. It was only like a 1 hour demo where we got an intro to all the mechanics, but now I have it. It will unfortunately not make my top 10 of 2025 because I just recorded that with Nick. So yeah, let's dive into the box. Oh, I'm so hyped. I can almost only be disappointed by this game because I had such a good experience playing it down there. I do think it's a good game, but yeah, I've been hyping it so much since we came home that I'm almost worried that it will disappoint me. Hopefully it will not. If you don't know, Ada Lovelace was, I don't want to say a year, but she was like the first person to envision a computer that could calculate for us. As you can see on the box here, it's her idea was more or less a mechanical computer, so gears and stuff. Unfortunately, she died before she could actually make it. So in this game, we live in an alternate universe where Ada survived and she actually built the computer, and we are her assistants. Let's see what is inside. Very tight fit here, almost a vacuum. More Ada's Dream. History book. Okay, so there's actually, oh, it has this weird rubber feeling to the pages. I like it. I'm just always surprised when I pick up a rulebook and it feels like every page is like a millimeter and it has this texture to it. It's very thick. Cool. History book. So I assume this tells you all the stuff I just said in more detail. Who the characters are, what she was doing, where she was living. 1851 this is, so around that time. Love the artwork. And let's see, the rulebook has the same thick texture feel to it. Let's have a quick browse through the rulebook here. As I said, I had a demo and the guy demoing was really good, so I didn't look in the rulebook. But list of components, here's the map, setup, yes, looks good. Example turn, gameplay overview, looks nicely laid out. Get some cards. Yeah, and then you have these different mini games that I will get back to when I show the board, but it has more or less one page per part of the game, which is nice. Example turn. Cool, cool, cool. Like that they really highlighted all this red box is an example. So when you're reading, you can just skip that. That is very good. These are actions you can take, which are highlighted. Very nice. More actions in this area. And this is the core of the game. This is your endgame scoring. This is sort of your computer that you build, and you will put in all of the dice that you draft during the game into your engine. Yeah. And of course, the appendix, which should always be in the back, so you can see what all the icons mean, and some quick reference. Cool. Looks like they did a good job there. Then let's go back to the box. What is this? Ada's Dream expansion rules, solo rules, and appendix. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna browse through that. That is good. Okay, so what do we have? Extra bags for putting stuff in after we're done. That's good. Lots of dice. These are normal D6s. I believe all of them are standard D6s, but colors matter a lot when you draft them. So nothing crazy about those. Those are dice. Let's look at some components here. This looks like your standard silk printed wooden components. Let's go in a little deeper here. Both sides are printed, that's always nice. Steam. Yeah, these look fairly standard. Okay, some drawbacks. Do I remember what these are for? I don't recall us drawing stuff. Yes, probably the dice you draw from the back when you're doing setup and maybe during. Don't remember, but there are bags. Then we have these components, which are sort of deluxified, even though I don't know what version I got. These are the resources in the game. Just put out a few. These are crazy. These are really heavy. Let's go in a little bit again. So in the game, you can have books, which is like your knowledge that you got from the research on the machine. And this is actually a little wooden book with, you can see the pages. Actually put it up here. Well, that's not much larger. This actually feels like a book, pretty cool. This is your standard gem token. I think this is coal in the game. You use coal to generate steam for running the mechanical computer. And then these are not gold. I believe it's brass that they make the computer out of. But it does actually feel like some sort of metal. Pretty cool. Only bad thing I have to say about these, when I did the playthrough or the demo, they're really hard to pick up because they have this slanted sides, which is how you would design a metal bar, but it makes it really hard to pick it up. That's the one bad thing I have to say about this game from the demo. Yes, let's look at cards. Cards are always good. Let's see if I can get in. Oh, I should do this in frame. Sorry for that. Have one of those things? It does. Why use force when you can use your brain to get in? Those are one type of cards. And we have where is the thing that will let me in? There it is. It goes that way. Cool. Sorry about that. So, like I said, I had a demo of this 2 months ago. Not a full game, so I might not remember what everything does, and not everything was in my demo maybe. Because there's obviously, or apparently there's more modules and expansions in here. This looks like some promo stuff or expansions. Score sheet looks fine. I always use the BG Stats app, but there's a score sheet. And these are the cards that you will, on each turn, when you draft a die, you can play a card. And all of the cards have the cost to play the card is a die, which is the die you drafted this turn. So that is a big brain burning thing, because you might want a high die for your in-game scoring, but this needs a low die to be played. There is some dice mitigation, but all of the cards just have resources and actions down here. Apparently these are all real historical figures. Don't really know any of them, but yeah, they're those. And then these have not the same background. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it was almost all the same. This looks like solo. Level 1, level 2, they get some stuff in their computer. Cool. Then this is another background. This might be the ones that you get from one of the mini games, but you pay money to get them, assumed. I don't think I've seen these, but they look like cards you can play and get stuff. This is an Essen 2024 promo. with some nice foily print. Can I go here? So these 4 are all Ada Lovelace. They're all called the same name, but it has a nice little gold foil thing down here. Cool. Then these cards, do I remember those? Could be solos, I think so. Probably the actions that the solo player will do. I assume this dictates which quadrant it goes to on the map. Cool. That's how much I'm gonna look at the cards for now. Let's get those off to the side. And then these I will come back to, if it will focus. These are the cogs for your machine. You can have pluses, you can have minuses, and you can have multipliers. It's good because when I played the version, there was a plus, and then the multiplier was basically just this symbol. So it's very hard to tell which was a plus and which was a multiplier. They fixed that. That's good. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at the board because no, that's very low down. Let's go out a little bit. So here we have some punch boards. Very standard stuff. Punches out nicely. These look, yeah, I don't know what that is. Probably some setup. Here we have a sideboard. I definitely did not play with this. This is where the cards with the money goes on, I think. The Great Exhibition. I assume this is a module you can put on the side and have some different cards in your hand. Not using that in my first play. These, I was very impressed when I played. These are the player aids, which are quite large. You have 2. One which tells you how a turn works. You do either this or this, 2 different types of actions. Then you can do one of these, and then your turn is done. Then here is I guess overall descriptions of the different actions, and then this one I was very surprised with. This basically tells you all the rules for each. There are 4 different places on the board, so even in my first play, this really helped me. Just look at these. Okay, I'm doing the green action, these are my options. I'm doing the blue action, these are my options. Orange and purple. I think once you've seen a few turns, this will really help you because there's so many options in the game. But once you've decided to do the purple, then you just do this. I really found these very helpful in my demo. Let's put those to the side. Punch boards, we don't need to look more at that. There's lots of those. Where are my player boards? More punch boards. Have lots of stuff to resources and stuff to tiles to modify the game for each play. Here are my player boards. That's what I want to show you. And now we are almost getting to the fun part, which is the board. Yeah, so this is your machine, where over the course of the game you will draft dice and they will go into slots like this. It's dual layered, so they won't slide around. And then also, without going into further details about the rules, you will get cogs like these to put in. So for example, if you did this, then you would have 2 plus 3 times 3 is 9. And yes, I know that's not how math works, but as far as I know, in the rules they say you do it left to right. You don't do the multiplication before the addition, which bothers me a little bit, but it's probably better for simplifying the game. Yeah, so you place dice in here. You can get, where was that? Here. This is also very cool. If you know anything about old computers, they had these hole cards, which is where this is the definition of a 1 or 0 is if there is a hole when you put this card in the computer. So you're drafting these or buying these during the game, and these will go in here as your scoring condition. It's actually a whole card for a computer. This has no effect, but I think it's cool that. And then now this column will have whatever scoring effect is on here at the end of the game. So you can draft 6 different of them. I don't think you will, but then you will have goals. Can say stuff like all the dice have to be in the same color, or in this, I need to have only odd dice in this column. Then maybe this one needs to have blue dice or whatever. So you can draft those. And then this is, don't remember what this is, but it's something that you can change because there are different levels here. It's a solo component. So there's 4 different levels for your solo. You tag onto your thing here. Cool. Let's get to the board. The big board. It goes to the middle of your table. It's obviously in the bottom, so I will have to go back out. You'll see all the mess I made outside the frame. It's okay. You know how these things go. You get excited and you just take out all the stuff. All of the stuff. Cool. So this is the board. And the central mechanism in this game is that you see this board, which is probably where you use the cloth packs. I don't know how many should be here and in what combinations, but say I wanted to take this too, then a higher value into here to bump this out, then I will get whatever bonus is here. And then remember I told you if I had some cards on hand, if I draft this die, it goes on my player board. I know this is not a how to play video, but I can't help it. Then I put this somewhere, which I don't remember where it is. I get a 2, and then I can play a card with a value of 2 up here. Then I will play him, get whatever effect this is. This is going up a track, and this is a resource. And then then obviously the other players would go in here. Then on a later turn, I would be able to place my die into my machine, and this is a yellow die, so I would then go and do the yellow action, which is down here. And I'm not going to go into details about all of that, but those are the 2 different kinds of actions that you can make. So basically, every turn you either draft a die from here, or you place one of your dice and you play X number of rounds. Here you get more cards for your deck, or you exchange cards. It's not a deck builder. You always have, I think it's 9 cards. Whenever you get a card, you have to discard a card. Not discard, remove it from the game. So you always have the same number of cards. You recycle through them. But here you can get much stronger cards. Here you can get the scoring conditions, the punch cards. That's what I remember this doing, and then getting something here, which was the cards that I thought was a solo, the small cards. These will fit here, and it's probably whenever you do this, you get some benefit. Then this was a traveling action, which I didn't really interact with, but you can move around and get stuff. Thematically, you're traveling the UK and having lectures on universities. And then a feature of the game is that lots of these discs are in the game. Remember, I told you that you put your cogwheels here, but actually your game will start with all these holes covered. So in order to build your machine, you actually have to go out and, for instance, make a speak at a university. Then you can put your disc here. Now this spot is available. Thematically, I guess you have to go and get support and funding for building your computer. And up here, it's basically just going up tracks, getting benefits. and there is an increasing cost when you go up. Ooh, I just noticed there's a slight indent here where you put the, it's not a dual layer, but it actually does have a little dip where the disc should go. That's pretty cool. No, not seen that on the player board before. Does it have any function? Will it actually prevent it from sliding? I don't know, but it feels nice. Yeah, that is everything in the box. Now I will try and organize this and have a read through the rulebook, and maybe at some point down the line you will see a playthrough on the channel. Let me know. Do you know the game? Have you played the game? Have you decided not to play the game? In that case, why? I'm super hyped to try it, and I know at least 2 guys who I have talked to about this game, so they will also have to try it. Yeah, let me know what you think about the game and what you think about this unboxing. And with all of that said, check out all of our videos. We have, probably by the time this comes out, we have our top 10 2025 games on the channel. Be sure to check that out. Tell us what you think. What are your top 25 games? Check our audio podcast, which is on Spotify and other platforms. On Instagram, we have snapshots of our game nights. And on Blue Sky, there's news about everything we do. If you already forgot what I said, just look in the comments down below, and there will be links to all of these things where we exist. And with that said, I was Ulrik, and this was a Board Game Nerds video. See you in the next one. Bye!